Hello, welcome to the Fly-by-Space tutorial about Add Your Space. As you can see, I'm already logged in and we just simply click Add Your Space. Then you see a new page and we start adding the name of your property. And you wonder what all these question marks are here, but then this explains a little bit what you have to do. So if you don't want to go over this tutorial, you just go over it and it will show what to do. Here we set a property name and I have already prepared a little. So testing co-working spaces, it's a very good name for a very good test. Property description, here you set the description of your property. It's just a one-liner to highlight some of your space. It's a fabulous space for co-working. You can use whatever you want to. If you have multiple locations and you don't want to get your booking emails to every agent, you can just set here your property manager email address and it will send this booking email also to this address, and also a copy will be sent to the main email address. I already have set this to our own. Here you can set the hashtags to highlight what you do with the property. Now it's set for co-working, but it can also be meeting spaces or office or whatever. Here is set the property address. The property address is Google related, so if you have a Google address, then you can set it right here. It will show up the minute you start typing, so I'll show you, because you see now it's gone, and if you go further in the correct way, you can just simply select one and you're all set. We also have over 135 different currencies in the system, so we simply choose euros because today we're from Europe. Then we go over to property description. Here you can tell all about your space, why they have to choose you, what kind of amenities you have, and if you have any house rules, this is the place to be. So here you set all the nice stuff. It's great. As you can see, you can also select your writing and make it bold, italic, underline. You can give it a different color if you'd like. You can set the height, you can set the font, you can do whatever you desire. You can also do something like this if you have some kind of selection you want to do. You can also add some links, you can add images. You just have to simply play it. You also have to upload up to 10 different images. We just select 5 different ones, like all these. They cannot be any bigger than 1 megabyte per image, so that will leave you some space. Here you see the selected ones, and then you go over to property category. If you're in co-living, that's working and living in a co-living community, then you can use this one. If you offer private offices, you can use this one. If you offer a studio like art studio or film studio, photo studio, this is the one. If you only have meeting rooms, you just highlight this one, and if you're into co-working space, you have this one. Then we also have virtual offices, co-working cafe, workshop like metal workshop, wood workshop, or maybe you have a garage you want to rent out for a couple days or a month or whatever time period. You just highlight this one, and if you have a pop-up shop, this is the one to go. If you have several options, you can just you just click this, and this is used for the search on the main page. Then we go over to the membership fees. If you have a hot desk, you only have one person who can use it. We set it for 1 day, as you can see here, and the price we set is 10 euros. I also want to show you, if you have a private office, you just simply click it. You can say only 4 people maximum occupancy for 1 week, and you can set the price for 100 euros. Here you can determine the access hours. If you think it's 24/7 or 24/7, you can just add that. If it's like business hours, you can just type it whatever you want to. We also have a huge list of amenities, and I will highlight a couple. If you have, for example, beer, you can just add beer. If you have fruit water, you do that. And if you have a paper shredder, you do that. And if you have public transportation nearby, you just use that one. And if you have like a relaxing lounge, it's also very nice to show it here. But we can imagine that you have to charge for beer. Let's say we charge it for €1 per consumption. And this rate you see here, that's a percentage, that's sales tax. Here in the Netherlands it's 21%. And if it's this all complimentary, then you just leave it at 0. But you can add as many as you'd like. It's very simple. And if you think, well, we don't have a ping pong table anymore, just click and it's gone. Here we have the rent tax, that's sales tax, like value added tax, or any tax you have to comply to. You can set here, for the Netherlands it's 21%, and this rate will go on top of the ones you just have here. In some countries you also have an occupancy tax. This is a fixed rate, and you can set it here. Here you set the CEO details. That means here you can use the pros and cons of your spaces, like co-working space in Holland, and you can here set some keywords. We will use that for marketing purposes, like co-working, co-work, and work. Here you can have a very limited amount of space you can use to set the highlights of your space, like a nice co-working space in Holland. It's in the middle of the tulips. Well, that's nice. Well, now you have it all set, and again, if you don't know what it's all about, you just hover over the question mark and it will tell you what to do. Then we go over to submit property, because everything is filled out, and you just click this and see what you have done. You have the images, and if you click view photos, you just simply go over them. And here is the testing co-working spaces. So the address we have given, this is the description, different amenities. You can see it's nicely organized. Here you can see the prices, if they are applicable, and here you have the private office you set for 1 week for €1. Access hours is business hours. Here you can book it, and this is the hot desk for one person for one day for €10, and you can access it 24/7. As said before, this is the Google Maps thing, and here you can see where it's pointing at. But if you see that something not quite good, you go over to My Properties, you just go over to Testing, you just change whatever you'd like to change. We forgot this, and of course you want to see that in a different color, like a nice blue color, and you want to have a very large thing, and of course you can change whatever you'd like. If you have a meeting space for 10 persons maximum for 1 hour, and you charge like €5 for that, and you can use that only during business hours, then you can change that. If you forgot your amenity, you just add it here, like tea. Here you can change it also. This you can change everything. You can change. You just submit property. You check it, and as you can see, we forgot this. We have tea added, and we have a meeting space for a maximum of 10 people for 1 hour, €5 during business hours. So that concludes the tutorial for adding space. If you have any further questions, please email those to info@flybyspace.com. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.